If you're a travel professional, you might be wondering how on earth you go about reviving your business brand now the world is slowly opening back up. Tune in as this week I'm going to share with you the exact what you need to do strategy to rebuilding your travel brand and get you back on your dream client's radar. All served up for you on a silver platter. Hey, I'm Steph, and I'm obsessed with all things travel, marketing, branding, and helping you stand out from the crowd. In just under 2 years, I went from being a home based travel agent with zero clue how to make it work in the digital world to launching an international ranking travel podcast and creating an online course to help travel agents in lead generation. Here's one thing I know for sure: there has never in the history of the world been a better time to create the travel business you've always wanted. All you need is an actionable strategy and someone to show you the way. Picture this: we're going to spend the next hour of our time together at the Swim Up Pool Bar, where over a cocktail, we deep dive into travel-related topics, mixed with a little classroom training. This show is dedicated to encouraging you to step outside of your comfort zone and into your travel business. I'll show you how I did it and how you can too. Hit subscribe now and let's get into it. If you're a travel agent wanting to stand out in the digital world but you struggle with consistency, tech isn't your jam and you have no idea where to start, join my free masterclass where I talk about exactly this. Head to stephaniemyers.academy/masterclass. You're listening to Unplug in Paradise, the podcast. Hello, and welcome back to Unplug in Paradise. I'm Stephanie Myers, travel agent, podcast host, and online course creator, coming to you live from the beautiful Northern Rivers. And a huge welcome to our newest listeners who have joined our Unplug in Paradise community in the last week. So great to have you with us, and looking forward to getting into another episode of the podcast this week, where we chat about the strategy behind how to social proof your business and grow your travel brand this year. So, what are we waiting for? Let's dive in. Before we begin today's episode, would you please join me while we recognise the generations of the local Aboriginal people of the Bundjalung Nation who have lived in and derived their physical and spiritual needs from the forests, rivers, lakes, and streams of this beautiful valley over thousands of years as the traditional owners and custodians of these lands. Today's episode, I want to talk to you all about social proof. It's so important, especially as a service-based industry. It is really important getting new clients on board inside of our businesses, and what I like to call them, those super dreamy clients. It's important for them to understand what it is that you do, what it is that you deliver, and understand and know firsthand knowledge how well that you do it. Wikipedia has a fairly comprehensive definition of what social proofing is. However, my perspective is that social proofing is in fact the psychological event that occurs when people copy the actions of others in an attempt to mainstream their behavior in certain situations. So, basically, it is a psychological phenomenon where people do as others do. Monkey see, monkey do, right? And it's kind of like FOMO in our language, which is essentially the fear of missing out. Nobody likes that. Some forms of social proof that you may be familiar with in our industry are reviews. One website that is incredibly heavy on reviews in our industry is TripAdvisor. As travel professionals, it is our duty to deliver an incredible experience to our client, and websites and tools such as TripAdvisor, in which case give us an insight into what it is we can expect on behalf of our clients. So you would never put a client into a property with anything less than an average rating, right? Especially if it's somewhere that your client is staying for a longer period of time, or if it's somewhere that you're not very sure about, you definitely want to be looking for those high quality pictures and any other verifiable evidence that it's actually a legit property and so on. So that's a great example. But thinking about other service-based businesses that we use on the daily basis, like if we need a new hairdresser or a new gym or a new beauty place or a massage place, wherever, the number one thing we're going to do is hunt them down. And let's be honest, if you're anything like me and you miss your calling as an undercover detective, you're going to hit the socials up first. You're checking out their Instagram, Facebook. We're literally scrolling through photos, comments, and ratings, and it probably won't stop there. But as you can see, these are all forms of their social proof, and we're checking them out to see if they deliver on the one promise that they set out to achieve, which would be something like if they're a hairdresser, they promise you'll walk out with silkier and shiny hair, which wouldn't be hard when it comes to my mop, but you catch my drift. An example that comes to mind is when you're shopping online, say for example, you're looking for a new suitcase, you happen to fall in love with three and you cannot decide for the life of you which one you're going to go with. One of them has 50 reviews with an average rating of 4.8 stars. The second one has 21 reviews and a 2-star rating. The third suitcase has no reviews yet. Now tell me, which one is it that you are going to buy? And I'm going to take a wild stab. Of course, you're going to be drawn to the suitcase with the highest rating based on the amount of satisfied travelers, right? Because we rely on the experience and opinions of like minded travelers to influence our actions. And if 50 people can tell me that they had a positive experience and thought highly of it enough to write a review, then it must be a super good investment, right? But there are also some not apparent ways that you can social proof your travel business as well. One of the things that you can do right now is develop an offboarding process for your clients for when they return home from a trip. This can be this can be super easy as you can most likely create an automated email to go out straight after they arrive home. For anyone that knows, if you're new here, I'm Steph and I'm a serial active campaign user. I use it as my CRM and email software. I'll leave a link in the show notes for you too, so in case you want to check it out. It's so great to have your own CRI system and super important because you literally don't have to think about this. It's practically all on autopilot. So if I've just offboarded Kerry, she's just arrived home from Spain, I need to send her an email and ask her for her feedback and a review. If that feels awkward, or maybe I'm just having an off day and I just don't have that confidence like I normally do, or if it's, as simple as life getting in the way and you all of a sudden become really busy, it's scheduled to go out automatically when you close the file, which is absolutely awesome. It's all done via an automation, and I send out a short questionnaire. Now, the first half of the questionnaire is really for me. It's all feedback. Hey, how did I do? What did you like? What didn't you like? Give me some information so I can make my service better. All those sorts of things. Then the bottom is optional and is not at all required, but it is where I ask whether they would like to leave a review or testimonial that I can use on my website and future marketing materials. You can also switch it up by asking whether they are willing to do a review for you directly onto your Facebook page. So that way you can use it in two different places. Like you can have it displayed on your Facebook business page as well as using the copy onto your website and in any of your other marketing materials you create. So, in hindsight, I think this is the better option to go about it because that way it's permanently on your socials. Another thing that you can do is write some case studies for the work that you've already done. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to pop in to invite you to my free masterclass where I'll be sharing my exact 3-step system to building a rockstar personal brand that attracts your dream clients into your database so you can step up into your travel biz, own your authority, and grow your online presence. And not only that, but you'll also get your hands on my entire Travel Agent Runway framework for standing out in the digital world without the tech overwhelm and not knowing where to start. Want in? Head to stephaniemyers.academy/masterclass and save your spot now. See you there. Case studies are another really great way of sharing social proof, but really what it does is illustrates the workmanship behind a particular itinerary that was super tricky, or in fact, it could have been a group or something that you've organized. And it's pretty easy to put together as you don't need to necessarily get your client's involvement at all in the actual case study itself, unless you want to add in a review or an interview or a blog post article, or you're interviewing them on a podcast or something like that. But all it does is illustrates a project that you have completed, events that you've maybe hosted in the past, or showcasing something that you're super duper proud of. So, the basic formula for a case study is problem, which really isn't a problem for us travel experts, I must say, or rather the job that we were given. What was the destination? Where were the challenges? And what were you trying to achieve? Solution: how did you do that? What tools did you use? What processes did you use? What was your specific role in the study? And lastly, results. Show as much data as you possibly can. Maybe show a sneak peek of the finished itinerary, a photo of all the tickets being prepared, some screenshots of feedback, and kind words that you can share to help demonstrate quantifiable results. We want tangible stuff. And you've got yourself a case study. Hooray! Throw in a couple of photos of the trip to make it super personable and relatable to what it is that you've just done. A case study can also be used as marketing content. This can also be something that you have available on your website for your travel community to come and check out. But before you do that, one little tip: make sure that you have your client's permission if you're sharing intimate details about their trip before you publish online. You can create and repurpose your case study into numerous, I'm talking numerous, hundreds of pieces of social media content to showcase your expertise. You can also email it out to your database. And again, this is another strategy to shine a spotlight on the service you provide and how you do it well, and to encourage the potential clients that are currently on your email list who haven't yet booked with you to make contact and book with you ASAP. You can also send it on to someone who may have a group or large conference request or similar. You can send them the case study straight away. It is the perfect outline how you've worked with a similar client. Use it as a point of reference to how you manage the booking and how you created and added in all the magic and personal touches along the way, which will definitely leave an everlasting impression on anyone who may be considering you for anything travel related. So you can use it for a variety of different ways. Now, my next suggestion is one of my favorites, and it is to collaborate. Now, you can collaborate with other travel agents. There is no golden rules to say you can't. Our industry has been through enough, so we're all about collaboration over competition. We can collaborate with suppliers, travel companies, influencers, creatives, entrepreneurs, and icons in the travel industry itself. You can collab in so many different ways too. So basically, collaboration is sort of like an endorsement in a way, because if you collaborate with someone, they've ultimately agreed to do an event with you or collaborate with you on an interview or editorial, or in my case, I have people collaborating with me on my podcast. They're basically saying that they endorse you and support you in what it is that you're doing to some extent. So, if you invite people to a live webinar or an in person event, these are different ways that you can create buzz and create leverage from a successful business collab partner. Interviews is another great one as well. Not everyone is good at writing. And this may stop the most loyal clients from spending time on writing your review. You might also find that it's quite the task to gather someone's testimonial. I don't know if you've ever sent out an email requesting one, but a lot of people just see it as extra work or they just straight up hate writing. And I know that I can relate to this, and I love supporting other businesses, especially in the travel industry. But to be blatantly honest, I'm not always the best person when it comes to remembering to write a positive review. Even if I've had a positive experience, and it doesn't matter how many emails have sent me to leave them a positive review, it's almost like I've got to be in the mood to do it. And other times I just, forget and carry on. But sometimes people worry that they might not be doing it right, which is something that I've come across as well. Or they're worried about their spelling or discrediting you in some way without intention, or simply just not knowing what to say. Like, you could receive something that could say, Steph was awesome, but they just don't know what else to say or have no idea what else to say. So, interviews are a really good way to break down the walls and also get really specific on the intel and answers that you want. Because when it comes to your ideal client, these are people that haven't connected or established a business relationship with you yet. What they really want to know is, aside from the fact that you're awesome, I'm sure they already know that if they're on your email list, is how working with you has proved to be an experience in itself. Of course, you want to add in how they enjoyed their holiday, but you also want to capture what it was like for them to work with you. So, there are a few different strategies here that I recommend to social proof your travel business and grow your brand. So, let's do a really quick recap. Reviews, something our student pilots do inside of our program, Travel Agent Runway. And as part of our market research that we do, is that we outreach to our clients, past and present, and request those testimonials. There's templates with copy in case you're not confident in asking for their feedback, or you might be feeling a little unsure about, what to say. Maybe it's been a little while between chats or bookings, but you really want to gather that intel into how they found your service levels, just so you can improve. Case studies where you have the insane ability to repurpose the content into thousands of different pieces of social media, tiles, blog posts, articles, all sorts of things, and scatter it all throughout your marketing content, including your EDMs. Collaborations, my favorite, which is such a good way of getting endorsements from collab partners who basically give you the stamp of approval by just simply working with you. Interviews, because not everyone feels confident about providing you with the specific details that you need when it comes to perhaps providing a testimonial or a review. And it's an incredible way to also extract those specific details without them doing the work, so you can showcase your expertise to your ideal client and they will love you before. If you're wanting to download an online version of today's show notes, you can head over to travelbystephanie.com.au/41 for all the juicy details on how you can social proof your travel business and organically grow your brand this year. Also, I would love to invite you to join my free live masterclass that's happening on Thursday, the 7th of April, to steal my 3-part travel agent runway framework and how to stand out in the digital world. If you want to sign up, head over to stephaniemyers.academy/masterclass. The link will be in the show notes too. And if you're enjoying the podcast, please consider subscribing to Unplug in Paradise on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're feeling super generous, leave me a 5-star rating and review. Special shout out to Dana Brown from Wild Hearted World, who's currently in Fiji on a Tourism Fiji for meal at the moment. Girlfriend, I am so living through you right now. It looks absolutely amazing over there at the moment, and you're looking like you're having the best time ever. If anyone in the industry is looking for inspiration from a woman in our industry who is changing the game when it comes to influencing social media and she's literally the vlogging queen, go and check her out at Wild Hearted World on Instagram. Another quick shout out and welcome back to Christy, who has just rejoined the travel industry after a 2-year gap, thanks so much to the C word, and has started her brand new business, Mark My World Travel. She is literally hitting the ground running, wasting no time at all, and loves to listen to the Unplug in Paradise podcast for all the juicy travel tips while sweating it out on the treadmill. You go, girl. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Thank you. See you. Bye.